What is up, guys? It's your boy Exotic Cactus, and today we are going to be showcasing how to get the brand new Wishkeeper exotic bow just introduced into Destiny 2 Season of the Wish via a brand new exotic quest. And so, let's get started. Now, first things first, let's take a look at what the heck the Wishkeeper actually does so you know if it's worth going after. The intrinsic trait is called Snare Weaver. Precision hits and final blows build energy towards a Snare Weaver arrow that can be fired from the hip. On impact, these arrows create a pattern of traps that suspend nearby targets. Now that sounds pretty crazy, but there's also another unique trait here, Silkbound Slayer. This weapon deals bonus damage to suspended targets. Gain faster draw time for a short duration when you suspend a target from any source or damage a suspended target with this weapon. So as you can see right here, you build up your Snare Weaver buff in the corner of your screen. Precision final blows count for 2 ticks, whereas just a final blow or just a precision shot counts for 1 tick. And then you shoot this kind of crazy arrow. It makes this insane pattern of traps on the ground. If any enemy walks over one of these like green lines, that triggers the trap and then they're suspended, as you can see right here. And then you're going to be doing all of that bonus damage to that suspended target. Pretty wild. Now, let's get into how the heck to get this thing. The first thing you're going to need to do is be up to date with the weekly story missions, because this week's weekly story mission will directly lead into the exotic quest. So again, if you're lagging behind from previous weeks, you'll have to do kind of all of those until you get to this week's mission. Specifically, the Apophasis mission right here is going to be what you need to do. After that mission, guys, you're going to need to talk to a few NPCs, specifically the Crow, and then he's outright gonna say, hey, do the exotic mission, and it's then gonna appear within the Helm destination map. So you can start that right away, and there is 2 different difficulties. You just need normal to get the bow itself, and likely legend will involve some catalyst stuff. So, first of all, you're going to be loaded into this area here, and you have to traverse forward. Now, importantly, you have these kind of like hanging leaves that you can shoot, and then as you can see, they open up and allow you to jump on them to continue making your way forward. Now, as you're heading through this area, guys, I actually found a hidden secret chest. So, as you can see right here, I kind of aim and see it on my screen thanks to the Wombo detector, and you can actually make your way down here. So instead of just going forward where you're supposed to go, you head down to this kind of secret area here, and boom, there is a chest. And it gave me a red border, but according to my teammates, it's not guaranteed. So it will give you, I think, a Vex weapon, and hopefully, again, you get lucky and get that red border like I did. In any event, keep making your way forward here, guys. And eventually you're going to exit out of this cave and get to this area here. The quest will update, and now it says approach the structure, and there will be enemies you need to fight. So as you head forward and approach this structure, you're going to notice something very interesting. There's actually a buff that you can pick up, as you can see right here. Stepping over it will give you the Sire's Obligation for around 45 seconds. And then if you look forward, you can actually see some Riven's symbols. For us, we had like dragon breathing fire to the left. If you did the Last Wish raid, you're very familiar with these symbols. However, above one of these symbols is going to be an enemy, a glowing phalanx. Now, importantly, if you don't have the Sire's Obligation buff, then you cannot do any damage to this guy. He will be immune. But if you do, you can kill this guy, and then the pathway forward will open up, and you move to the next section. Now, this section is going to be a lot more complicated. So, as you can see, you have that area where you can get the Sire's Obligation buff again, but instead of just one phalanx, there's multiple, and you have to kill them in the correct order. So, as you can see right here, we just kill the first one we see, and then you actually get the notification on the bottom of your screen that says that the paracausal energies dissipate and the lock resets. So the lock is actually what you can see right here. There's 3 different symbols, and you have to do them in order from top to bottom. So you can see there's the fish symbol on the top, and then there's the dragon symbol, and then the bird symbol. So you have to look around the map for the fish symbol, right? In our case, it may be different symbols for you, but whatever symbol's on top, you look around the map for that symbol on the ground, like you can see that right here, and then you have to kill the nearby phalanx associated with that symbol first. And keep in mind, while you're doing all this, your buff could wear out like you see in the background gameplay, so if that happens, you're going to have to go back to that original location and get it again to continue killing these phalanxes in the correct order. Now, once you have, the doorway forward will open up and you can continue. Now, as you move forward, eventually you're going to encounter a whole new buff. As you can see, it's kind of glowing gold or orange, and if you walk over this area, you get the buff Dam's Gift for, again, 45 seconds. Now, what this lets you do is traverse inside these areas where that kind of orange smoke is all around. If you go in here without this buff, then you will eventually die if you stay in here for too long. So you go through this, you traverse your way forward, watch out for the kind of moving stones on your pathway, as you can see, and eventually you get to this new open area. And the objective will update to access the transit mechanism, which is going to be the portal behind you. So what you need to do is kill 3 bosses in this area. So you need to pick up this buff that's kind of in the middle of the circle right here, and then there's 3 pathways you can head. So you can see my one teammate goes to the left, my other teammate goes to the right, and I go straight forward. And all of these pathways will lead to the same thing, which is, as you can see, a Gatekeeper Wyvern. So you have to kill all 3 of these Gatekeeper Wyverns. You can see myself, I take out this one while having the Dam's Gift active, importantly. And then in all 3 locations, you have to go to where the wyvern kind of initially spawned, and as you can see, interact with this object and imbue it with paracausal energy. If you're solo, you're gonna have to head, to the left and then fight a wyvern right around here, and then after that, head down the last pathway to the right, fight a wyvern kind of immediately upon going in here, and then again, when all 3 wyverns are killed, you're going to head back out into this main area, kill a few Vex, and then when all the Vex are dead, a boss is going to spawn, this big mind guy here, and then you take this guy down. He's really not too difficult, and finally the portal will open up to traverse. So you head to the portal, and then you have quite a bit of a jumping puzzle. And again, watch out for those moving objects. They're going to push you off. They're going to block your way. There's quite a lot of them. Definitely, if you do have access to Strand, having a grapple just in case you fall to your death like me to save your butt is definitely a good idea. In any event, guys, you're going to keep making your way forward until eventually getting to this area here. And it's going to be similar mechanics to what you've seen previously. However, there is yet another different buff that you can pick up. So there's going to be the red Dam's Gift buff that you can get. That's going to let you traverse through the sides, but it won't let you actually damage the phalanxes. Then if you go to this other area here, this buff is going to be called Crowned by Dragons. And this seems to be kind of like the ultimate buff because it lets you traverse through the orange smoke and also lets you do damage to the phalanxes. So I kind of don't know why you would pick up Dam's Gift, maybe in if you're going after the Catalyst in the higher difficulties or something, but what we found is you just get the Dragon's buff and you're good to go with pretty much every scenario. So again, there's going to be another doorway you need to look at and see the different symbols and kill the phalanxes in the correct order of symbols, top to bottom. And there's going to be one phalanx out here in this kind of central area, and then the other 2 are going to be in side pathways that you have to go through. Again, they're all surrounded in orange smoke, so you'll have to have that buff to make your way through. And so, once you've killed all 3 of the phalanxes in the correct order, then this central kind of gate, this central doorway will open up, and you can drop down here, as you can see, to confront the final boss. There will actually be a rally banner before then, so make sure to grab that and stock up on ammo. So drop down here and you'll immediately see that there's the 2 different buffs. Again, like, might as well just get the Dragon's buff, the Drem's Gift. Again, I don't know why you would get that. And then you can absolutely go to town on this boss. Now, there is going to be a mini boss down here called the Pitless Attendant. And I just went and killed this guy right away, but as you can see, after I did, the shields that normally rotate around this Hydra boss seem to have dissipated, so maybe that's what that does. But in any event, you can just clap this boss however way you see fit. And once you're done, guys, you go out, access this chest, and boom, there you have the Wishkeeper. Importantly, it is going to drop with a guaranteed red border because this is craftable. Now, right after you get that, there's a sweet cutscene. I'm not going to spoil too much in this video, but you can watch that after you get it. Regardless, you can go and head to the Enclave after, and as you can see, you can actually customize this bow with different strings, different shafts, as well as a catalyst slot. Interestingly, the catalyst slot, like, the 4 options, 2 are completely unique to this bow, like the multi-thread snare refit and all this stuff, and then you can just get Vorpal Weapon or Hatchling, which I think is kind of funny. It's like the crazy, unique bow catalyst or Vorpal Weapon. In any event, you can customize that however you see fit after you've unlocked these different options by doing the higher difficulties, by waiting on different weekly resets to go back in there and stuff like that. In any event, guys, that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickKakis. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.